Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at what I consider the question is, what can or cannot be definitive representation of a figure or a character in your collection. So if you look at the examples I have up here, you have the Dual Effect Vader, which is, for all intents and purposes, a pretty phenomenal figure. We've got the Dark Empire Luke here, which, that guy's pretty stellar in itself. Great head sculpt, great outfit. You've got the Darth Vader Sith Apprentice from Ahsoka, which is, an older Hayden Christensen, Darth Vader representation, essentially. And then lastly, you have the concept art Darth Maul. And this is actually a kit badge because I actually have the 2.0 Darth Maul neutral sculpt on him, just because I like that look better. But, and subsequently I've sold actually my Darth Maul Sith Speeder. I really only bought it for the head sculpt. I thought I was going to keep it, but I really just wanted that one here. But looking at the figures I have here, is there any collectors out there that would say, okay, I could not have just that be my only Vader, or my only Luke, or my only Anakin, or my only Maul? And for me, for my collection, I actually like having these kind of unique looks, because my argument has always been, if I look at this Maul, most people say, oh, I gotta have him in his, at least him in his his Phantom 1 look. Well, if I look at this Maul, is my brain turning off the fact that he was in Phantom Menace and he was in Clone Wars and any of those other, media presentations? No, not. Now granted, maybe those looks were great for him, and I want to have a representation of that specific look. But as far as it being definitive, what's definitive? Is it him and Phantom Menace when he was probably his weakest, or was it really him in Clone Wars when he was at his apex? Or was it him in Solo when he, was, leading, I forgot the name of the group was, but the Syndicate. So, I think for me, it's, I like having a cool looking version of them. And, starting with this Maul. This Maul, to me, is going to go perfect with Savage being yellow, and I know it's probably going to be the exact same color, but kind of playing off each other. This look is so unique. No one really, you don't really see it anywhere other than the old Kenner toy. And, from foot to head, the armor, the wired lower part of the tunic, and of course, like I said, this head sculpt from that 2.0 Maul is stellar. I really didn't like the one that came with it, but it wasn't bad. This is just, to me, a better kit badge. And later, what I'm going to do to make this actually my Clone Wars, to make him fully representation the way I want him, I'm going to actually get the Fusion Reactor's Darksaber and have him holding that. So, and we'll jump over to Anakin. So now, just to go over the Artisan piece, this is the Artisan edition. I know a lot of people are having their hair get poofy. Mine has not been, but one thing I notice, every collector or every YouTuber I see on YouTube that's saying that their hair is getting poofy, they have them in closed-in cabinets, whereas mine's sitting open on the shelf in the room where I hang out and work in my actual office. So maybe that's the humidity building up inside those, what are those freaking cabinets called? But any of those enclosed cabinets like the DTOFs, the modular spaces, I wonder if those are, maybe that's a amount of humidity building up inside those things. I know a lot of those people, that's not their room that they hang out in. It's actually like their, just a showcase room, whereas, and like you guys seen in my tour, that's my office. My kids come in here, my wife come in here, my friends visit, they hang out in here. So it's not just a place where I'd store figures. So, but my hair is perfect. This is the same way when I took it out of the box. Didn't change it. Haven't done anything to it, no water treatment or nothing. That's just what it is. But going back to the whole topic, this isn't over hating Christians. It's not the true episode 3, which of course is my favorite movie. It's not that version of Vader, because technically by then he was Vader. But this is my only hating Christian likenesses. I'm not getting any other one. This is the room I have on my shelf for this one, and this is just a unique one. He does have the Sith eyes, of course, but his Sith eyes, or the Sith eyes from Ahsoka, which is where he's from, not the Sith eyes from episode 3, where they got the yellow look. So, but could this be your only Vader? I mean, could this be your only Anakin? If this is how you were going to set up your display. And for here, I've got the just newly released Luke from Dark Empire. Now, I did get the sculpted version because after getting the Artisan Anakin, I was like, yeah, even though everybody's saying the Artisan looks good, it looks better, this to me is way better. It's not even close. But that's just me. That's me personally. But this Luke to me is a sick looking Luke. I mean, he's got his dad's, gear on. He's rocking dual sabers. And for me, most people go, oh, that's not a definitive Luke, but it's Bespin definitive, it's Foreign Board Luke definitive, it's Return of the Jedi, at the beginning, definitive at the end, Snowspeeder Luke, like, what's the definitive Luke? And everybody's going to argue that point, but to me, a great looking Luke is a great looking Luke, and for my collection, this is the one I'm going with, and I love him. I think it's super cool. The lower tunic is wired as well, which is not even wired on the Vader next to him, but it is what it is. But yeah. And then for last but not least, probably the most controversial this is the dual in effect Vader. Now this guy I love. I mean, I'm a big Gundam fan. I don't have any on display. I'm actually working on trying to get that part done. But I love the Gundam paint. I love the cell shading. I love the frosted lightsaber. The bases got that textured feel to it. For the paint, it's the nylon suit, which was actually the first released nylon suit, even though everybody always forgets about this guy. But he's not shiny. He's not a glossy black, Vader. And could you have only one Vader in your collection be a non-clean Vader? Well, the Battle Damage Vader just came out. That was from it's basically like a combination of Force Unleashed and using Hayden Christensen's face. A lot of people are saying, oh, that's my Vader, but a lot of these YouTubers will tell you, oh, you can't just have that one in your collection. You have to have something else. Well, everybody's collection is their own collection. If you're telling me this right here, I can't use this to represent these 4 characters from all the media they've been in to on my shelf and be the only representation of it, I think that's kind of insane. I think it's the reason a lot of FOMO happens for us buyers, because what we're doing is we're looking at these guys with these rooms and displays. They're all, showing all the figures they have, and they're a lot of times the need they're creating is the need out of the fact that they're pushing you to get more stuff. But at the end of the day, could you be content with just having one of these as your representation? Do you need to have 2 Lukes? Do you need to have 3 Mauls? Now, my favorite version of Maul is by far the Clone Wars version. So if they do drop an updated Clone Wars, I will get him and I will find space for him. But if they don't drop one, and I won't. I mean, as far as the Phantom Menace look, I think I showed you guys in another video. I have a Build-A-Bear and a Maul in the Phantom Menace look, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But I love this look. This is a great kid bash for me, and this is all Maul I need. Right here, the Darth Vader Sin Apprentice from Ahsoka. This is the only, Anakin look I need, unarmored. I guess unarmored Anakin. This Luke is just crazy sick. Dark Empire. I love the Legend stuff. And then this is great. This is the only one I need for him. Focus. And last but not least, dual effect Vader. The yellow representation of him. So, let me know what you guys think. Again, how much of this is just being put on us by the actual YouTubers themselves and the guys and girls who are collecting, and how much of it is just really like you feel that, okay, this representation, I have to have this look. Is it because it's your favorite look? Because for me, I'll just give you an example of every look I've seen. This is the best looking look I've ever seen, as far as like costume, outfit, the whole nine, and that's why I picked him up. This Darth Vader Sith Apprentice, really simple, limited item. He's pretty much one-to-one to anything else, but he's unique enough where I'm okay with that. And then it's small, just to me, just such a cool look, especially with that 2.0 head sculpt on it. So, and then of course, like I told you, I really love the Gundam cell shading. This paint job is just simply phenomenal. And again, I don't really do reviews on Hot Toys. I just kind of talk about them here and there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If this is something that is something you've been struggling with, or anything you've really been thinking about as far as where you draw the line as far as your cutoff for the number of figures, how many figures of one, and I'll show you guys. I know you guys seen the collection tour. I've got the ones I do like, I have multiple. I just got the new Ahsoka in, and I'll probably do a little short on her. I have multiple Captain Americas. I have, 5, 6 Boba Fett's. I even have this one right here. Actually, I've got that one laying down because I'm actually putting them on a new stand. But the arena, but this Boba Fett from Book of Boba Fett, that's my favorite look for him. And so I have, 4 or 5 different versions of him, including the quarter scale. So, and then of course, that'll be a video for another day. That's the Fans Toys Marge, which is, their version of Ultra Magnus. I've got, 4 or 5, 6 different versions of him. So, but yeah, let me know. Appreciate you guys checking it out. Later.